Hey guys, so I'm recording with a new program today. I'm gonna have to do it in two parts. Only lets me record 10 minutes. I have a little more than 10 minutes of stuff to say today. Um, but anyway, sorry for the lack of videos lately. I've had some issues with the other program I was using. I was recording some videos, but it wouldn't let me upload them to YouTube. It was, I don't know. I'm using a free program, so I guess I'm getting what I'm paying for here. But this one seems to be a little more promising, this Bandicam, so we're gonna give it a shot. Anyway, so I don't know if you see me tweeting about it, but I'm switching over to Centerpoint Securities. I'm opening a Vision account there. IB has just been absolutely atrocious lately with their small cap borrows, and I've about had it. I've been dealing with it. It's been on and off in the past, and I've been dealing with it. But lately, it's just been. If you've seen the things I'm tweeting, about I'm showing you the DAS borrow list is just absolutely awful. The last couple of days, I wasn't able to short really anything I wanted to. So finally making the switch over to Centerpoint. I should hopefully have that done by the end of next week. I'm thinking of opening an ETC account too, but definitely starting with Vision. I'm gonna leave my IB account open, but need to have a second option there. So that's happening. And what else? I can't remember. All right, but so looking at the SPY today, just really strong, and you can kind of tell that right out of the gate. There was a whole bunch of headlines this morning, bullish, very bullish headlines. The jobless claims report was at a 42-year low or something like that. They were just throwing it in your face that it was going to probably be a good day for the markets. So immediately I wanted to short UVXY, which would have been awesome. But I tried to short it right here around shortly after 10 o'clock in the 2320s. I sent in an order and was so kindly informed that IB didn't have any borrows. Not having borrows for UVXY, that's pathetic. That shouldn't be something that's difficult to borrow. So I couldn't short that today because I didn't have any borrows. Well, that really pissed me off. That would have been a nice trade. So again, just more issues with IB. But other than that, it was a good day. I had a bunch of trades today. I'm not going to record a video every day because, most days I only trade a few names, and I don't always have a lot of constructive information to offer. So I'm just going to record videos when I do something really good, when I do something really bad, or if I trade a lot, a lot of names and I have a lot of stuff to talk about. Like today. Today I traded 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I traded 6 names today, so I have a lot of stuff to talk about. And I have a swing on. This was today, so I traded 6 names, and XGTI is I have a fairly big swing on there. I'll talk about that in a few minutes. But it was a good day. Only 2 very small red trades, and they were both paper cuts. So let's get into them. CETX was a nice one today. I was actually just looking at this chart a few minutes ago. I'm not sure what the hell happened, but this thing fell off a cliff late this afternoon. I don't know what the cause of this was, but it must have been news or something. But anyway, we were trading this morning. This was a Ross play. I have Ross up on my screen now live, so it's nice to see him talk, and I'm starting to get a feel for what he's saying and how he's saying it, and whether or not it's like extra pumpy or not. I'm not going to get into that in super detail because that would sort of be giving away the secret sauce a little bit. But I'm definitely getting a feel for how he trades and when to fade him and when not to. So I don't just automatically short every Ross play. Some of them are to be completely avoided, but this was a good one. He was involved in the mid sevens here, looking for a 750 break, and you could literally just hear him talking about it. He literally said the words 750 probably like 20 times in a 2-minute period. Like could not have been any more blatant about it, that he was trying to pump his subs to buy it, so over to squeeze it over 750 so he could get out. And as soon as I recognized that, I started to short it. So I actually almost got a top tick entry, and was shorting into him, and then Sure enough, we got the typical Ross candle to follow, the big washout candle of all his subscribers getting dumped on. So that was a nice way to start the day. I think I got like 4,500 shares on there. Made almost 40 cents. So that was a nice trade. Good way to start the day. Thank you, Ross. Dries. I started shorting Dries as soon as it went sub VWAP. You know how I feel about Dries. I like to short it, almost any time it's popping. But I missed the initial little spike here into the 420s because we were watching that CETX trade, so I didn't catch it here. But as soon as it went sub VWAP, anytime Dries is sub VWAP, you should probably have a short position on. So I started to get involved. I was actually having issues filling because the SSR is on, so it was being weird. I was even placing market orders, and my market orders weren't filling. I don't know what was going on there, so I did end up getting them eventually, but I really had to work to get those entries. And you see I even got some poor entries here because I was a little frustrated. I was just trying to get any amount of size on. Because when you're trading Dries, see, like right now it only had, after it pulled initially, there was only like 20-25 cents of range to work with today. So, the volume is there, the liquidity is still there to trade Dries, but the range is really starting to lack now. So if you're gonna trade it, you kind of need to use some size, really to make it worth it. I think I had about 8,000 shares today. That's really the only way to make it worth it. You have to use a little bit of size, and even with that, I only got probably 15 cents out of it or so. I think I made about $800 on Dries today, but we finally got a nice wash here, green to red wash, and I was content with that. That's all I really want. I didn't think it was gonna sell off into oblivion. I think those days are over, especially with the SSR on, and So I was happy we got that wash, and just started to cover into that and took pieces off where I could. And I was content. That was a good trade. Anytime Dries is sub VWAP, you should be shorting it. ETRM. I was looking at this morning, but in typical fashion, IB did not have any borrows. They magically appeared over here. I saw some borrows pop up shortly after lunch. My guess is there was quite a few people short early on, and then must have been some covers coming in here when it went over VWAP. Because right as this spike started happening, I saw some borrow availability show up. So I was interested here just for a scalp. I figured it was probably some covers, being the fact that it was under VWAP for so long. There was probably collecting some shorts, and as soon as it went over, see, we got the volume. This is what interested me. Caught my attention to think short scalp here was these little volume spikes into this. The reason I entered where I did was because it was very subtle. But see these red bars here. This is the first little bit of selling volume, the first real indication that a seller was there. Very, very subtle, but we started to get that nice red wash candle on a little bit of volume. So that's what made me think, all right, first we have the buyer exhaustion here, followed by somewhat of a selling presence showing up. I figured that was as good a time as any to give a scalp a shot. If it didn't work, I would have taken it off very quickly over 840. But fortunately, it washed nicely. So I'm always covering into VWAP. Took a little more off. And then it just kind of started to trade sideways, and the volume disappeared. So anytime something is trading sideways like this and the volume is disappearing, and it's usually a red flag. My initial plan was to have a flat stop on the rest. I ended up with like an 825 average, and my plan was to stop it flat on the rest. But I ended up stopping out a little earlier. I stopped out at like 817, I believe, for some peanuts. And the reason for that was the fact that the volume here had just really started to go away, and we were trading sideways. That's a big red flag to me. Okay, the video is about to cut off in 15 seconds, so I'm going to have to make a part 2. But I'm going to go into a little more detail on that and use BIOC as an example as well to show that process a little more. I'll be right back.